is Nikita. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am currently a mental health therapist and sex therapist located in New York City, where I work in private practice. My favorite memory actually is when I first came to Mason and had orientation. And I'd come here as an international student from India. I didn't really have any family here, so it was all brand new for me, like fresh off the boat. And I remember going to this orientation where the president at the time was speaking at the Eagle Bank Arena, and the president said that your college experience is like a buffet. You can pick whatever servings you want. You can make it whatever you want. You have all of these things that are available to you, and you can choose as much or as little of something as you want. And I think that was a really good starting point for me, because it really made me think about, okay, what do I want my next 4 years of my life to look like? And it's something that I still think about today with any experience that I have, because I feel like what I heard at that time was introduce intention into how you want this to look, and what you want your life to look like will follow. My education at George Mason played a huge role in where I am today, because when I first came to the US, I was still exploring the identities that I held, and I actually took a women gender studies class my freshman year, and it essentially transformed everything that I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a therapist from a very young age and have been working at it ever since, but I didn't fully have an idea of who I wanted to be working with or how I wanted to be doing it. And so at George Mason, I feel very lucky to have been surrounded with a lot of really rich diversity in gender expression and cultures and things that made me feel more comfortable and at home, especially being in the US for the first time as a person of color. And I think having access to amazing resources and that openness with campus staff and the Women and Gender Studies Center in particular really shaped my experience of who I wanted to be working with and who I wanted to serve. As an international student, George Mason was my home. Literally, I didn't have any other home in the United States, and so it played a huge role in making me feel a sense of belonging in a culture that was very new to me. And I think that's very monumental, especially in where I ended up. And because I was able to feel that sense of belonging and get to where I am right now, I'm able to offer that to my clients and the people that I work with. And I think it comes from knowing that there are spaces out there that people can feel a sense of belonging in. I think something that I really used as a guiding light for me in making decisions and choices is how can I choose to be in spaces that support my values, that echo my values, but also giving myself permission to not have it all figured out, because I think that coming in with a very specific goal in mind of I want to be a therapist, while that was really helpful because it gave me an idea of what I wanted to work towards, in some ways I felt very pigeonholed to that particular life path that I was on. And so it was important for me to allow myself openness and thinking about okay, I know that this is where I want to go, but I get to choose the experiences that I have along the way that inform how I show up when I'm in the place that I want to be. And I think that when a lot of people come to undergrad for the first time, there's this pressure to choose and have it all figured out. And I just want to give people permission to be where they're at and give them the permission to explore their identities, explore their values, and just show up with a lot of grace and compassion for themselves.